Hello, my postpartum posse. I'm so excited for you to do this challenging class, but also kind of push yourself out of your limit, out of your boundary. Challenge yourself and see if you can go a little further than you think you can go, but always listen to your body. So if something doesn't feel right, if something is feeling painful or off, stop what you're doing, skip that pose or modify it to your liking, and pick it back up when you are ready. So for class, maybe grab onto some yoga blocks. May or may not use them today, but have them handy if you want them. And then just come to a nice seated position. We're going to start just with a little meditation, letting ourselves calm down, arrive into this space, and get ready to flow together. So when you feel ready, you can close your eyes or soften your gaze by looking down at the floor in front of you. And let's take the back of our palms on top of our knees or thighs, flipping the palms up to the ceiling, almost in a form of surrender. Surrendering to what is and allowing things to just be what they are. But also in a form of acceptance, openness, in maybe willing to bring in something that you might need. Notice your breath. Notice the natural inhales and exhales. Now deepening the inhale and lengthening the exhale. As you inhale, feeling the lungs expand in all directions, into the sides, into the back. Notice how far down you can sense that breath in the lungs. And then as you exhale, the lungs contract, the rib cage closes in. You allow your body to soften a little more as you release out. Allowing your breath to return to normal. Maybe pausing here to just check in with how you're feeling. Noticing whatever arises without judgment or labels. Just acknowledge what comes up. And maybe you set an intention for this practice today. Let your chin tuck down to your chest. And inhale, roll the right ear to the right shoulder. Exhale, chin down to center. Inhale, roll the left ear to the left shoulder. Exhale, chin down. Taking a few undulations from one side to the next. Inhale as the ear comes up. And exhale as you release down. Take the chin down to center and then inhale the head to neutral. We're going to take the palms, bend the elbows, and place them on top of the shoulders or as close as you can get here. Take an inhale. Let's bring those shoulder or elbows together. Reach the elbows towards the ceiling and then draw the elbows wide as the shoulder blades come down the back. Inhale, draw them together, bring them up, and exhale, bring them down. A couple more times this direction. And then let's switch the opposite way. So you'll open them wide and then draw them in and down. Good. Now let's go ahead and just open them wide, and then we're going to rock from one side to the next. Just bring in a little bit of mobility into the spine. You might not get too much of a twist here. That's okay. Feeling that nice opening. Come to center, and then we'll take an inhale. Exhale, drop that shoulder down to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, elbow will come over to the left. It's okay if it doesn't touch the ground. Just bring this little bit of side bend, opening up within the side body here. Good. Come up. Let's release the hands down. Give it a little shake if you need to. Shake it all the way up overhead and then all the way down. Let's come to hands and knees on the mat. Tabletop position. Starting with a little cat-cow. Relax the belly. Lift the chest. Lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the pelvis around the back, tuck the chin. Inhale, relax. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, hug the belly into the back of the spine, round the shoulders, tuck the chin. A few times, just like that, letting your breath guide the pace here. Let's come to a neutral spine. From here, we're going to tuck the toes. Take a deep breath in, relax the belly. Exhale, I want that rib cage to close in. Sides of the belly come to the back of the spine and hip bones close together. Holding that contraction in the core, begin to breathe. We're going to lift the knees up off the mat. Inhale, press the hips up to down dog. Left hand is going to reach across to the right ankle. And then we'll replace the left hand back down, shift the knees back forward, hovering onto the ground. Inhale, press back to down dog. Right hand is going to grab onto the left ankle. Coming back to down dog, hover the knees. Inhale, press up, left hand taps right ankle, and exhale, hover back down. Inhale, hips come up, right hand comes to left ankle. Coming back to bear pose here where we hover the knees. One more time, both sides. And then we're going to hover the knees here. Long spine. Go ahead and drop the right hip over to the right. Coming back to center. Left hip comes to the left. Back to center. Drop the right. Center. Left. Center. So you're just pivoting the hips to one side as you pivot and turn onto the feet. One more time, each side. Good. Drop those knees, untuck the toes, taking the knees wide. Hips can release back. You can either stack those fists on each other, let your forehead rest, maybe extend the arms all the way out and forehead and chest release all the way down. Just taking a moment to reconnect to the breath, tune back into the body, feeling that heat and that fire that we just built. Inhale, let's come back up. Wrists come back underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. Tuck the toes. We're gonna hover the knees once more. This time, the right knee is gonna come towards the right elbow. Coming back to center. Left knee comes towards the left elbow. Back to center. Right elbow, center, left elbow, center. Right, center, and left, center. Keep going. One more time, both sides. And then let's press all the way into down dog. Awesome. Go ahead and pedal the feet out. Feeling that core begin to fire and switch on again. And if you're struggling through that, just give yourself a little grace now, especially if you're pretty fresh to starting to work out again, starting to move again. It'll come with time. Try to give yourself grace and know that even every little bit that you show up is helping you get a little stronger, a little more balanced. We're going to shift the weight forward. This time the right foot is going to come to the outer edge of the right side of the mat. So your hands are on the inside of that right foot. If you need to, you can grab your yoga blocks to place the hands on the blocks here. We're going to press through those palms, keeping that back knee lifted. If you need to, a little forward, rock, and back. So I just went up on my knuckles here. Sometimes my wrist can bother me, so making fists and going on your knuckles, if you're in that tabletop position, can help take some pressure off the wrist. Always an option for you. We're gonna hold, keep following that length of the breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna pivot to the outer edge, flat part of that back foot, turn it off to the side. This right foot's gonna go to an angle. This windmill all the way up to warrior 2. And then, the right foot is gonna go forward to the front of the mat. Arms are gonna come to a T. We're externally rotating this front leg. Good, sink into the front leg. Pressing the front foot into the mat, that's gonna keep that leg active and switched on. From here, we're gonna straighten the right leg. Arms are gonna come up overhead, and then take the hand to the left knee, coming to a lunge on the left side. So this left foot might kind of curve at an angle, that's okay. Pivoting back into the front knee, warrior 2, and exhale all the way into the lunge. And you can stay here if you'd like. Warrior 2, otherwise if you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can come all the way down. So you're going to come, so this front foot is pointed towards the ceiling into this Skandasana, or this low lunge, and then pressing through the left foot, power all the way back up, and shift into warrior 2. Staying with your side plank on this side, or coming all the way down into Skandasana. It takes a lot more strength and power to get all the way back up. 2 more times. Last one. Either modification is fine. Good. Straighten the right leg. Toe heel the feet just a little closer. Toes are turned out, heels are in. Let's take a deep inhale, reach those arms up. And then exhale, we're gonna forward fold. So those feet can become parallel, or you can turn the toes slightly in. Let your head hang. The weight's gonna be in the balls of the foot. So the heel should be kind of light here. If you need to, you can take a block underneath the face here. We're gonna come to a flat back, placing the left hand underneath your face. Right hand is gonna go to the right hip. Now I want you to begin to twist towards the right without twisting the hips. And once you have the chest twisted to the right, if you want, you can extend that right hand to the ceiling. Exhale, let's release the right hand down, placing it under your face. And inhale, left arm comes up. You're starting with that hand on the hip if you like, making sure the hips don't move, and then extending the arm. Exhale, release the left hand down. Now let's walk the hands over. We're gonna come to the back of the mat, coming to lunge on the left side. So that left foot come to the outer edge of the mat. Hands are gonna be on the inside of that left foot. Keeping that back knee lifted. If you need to, you can drop it down, untuck the toe, but I want you to challenge yourself today. So try to keep it lifted. Option to bring the rocking forward, back if that feels good in your body. Good, we're gonna hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now turn that back foot off to the side, coming flat onto the foot. And we're gonna windmill the arms all the way up into warrior 2. Still externally rotating, so this knee is tracking over the feet. Deep inhale, exhale, sink a little further, press that front foot into the mat. Straightening the left leg, pivoting to the right knee. So that right foot can turn off to the ankle there. Just starting with our flow from warrior 2 to our high side lunge here. And now if you'd like to, seeing if you can come all the way down to Skandasana. So that knee and toe are pointed towards the ceiling. And then you're gonna power into the right foot, push yourself all the way up, and then shift your weight into the front foot. Inhale, come down. And exhale, power up. 2 more. And last one. Good, straighten that left leg. Toe heeling the feet all the way to hip distance here. Good. Before we move on, let's go ahead and just take a moment, place the hands together at heart center, close off the eyes. And reconnect to the breath. Feeling all those pressure points weighing down on your mat, those connection points in your feet. Noticing your hips and pelvis and how those are positioned. And noticing your shoulders and your head and neck. On the next inhale, let's reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, we're gonna sink down into chair pose. So the feet are about hip distance, your knees are tracking right over those toes. Deep inhale, exhale, sink down a little further. From here, we're gonna you can take the left hand to the outside of this leg here. The right hand can go to your sacrum, that's that flat part of your lower spine, and then you're gonna twist to the right. So a nice little twist here. Otherwise, if you can drop the elbows all the way down if you want. If you're doing this, you can toe heel the feet so that they're all the way together. You're gonna press that elbow to the outside of the right knee, press your palms together, and then twist over to the right. If you do this low twist here, make sure your knees stay in line. So they're staying even and you're not pressing the knees off midline. Exhale, slowly release the twist. Let's inhale, come all the way up. Deep inhale, and exhale, sink back down. Either taking the right hand to the outside of that left knee, keeping a nice gentle twist here. Or if you're looking for that fire, you can bring your elbow all the way down, press those palms together. The beauty about twists and healing your core, it heals from the inside out. So you're creating the twist, you're creating heat, building that muscle from the inside, the deepest core muscle. Good. Exhale, slowly release it. Let's shake it out. Just give it a little shake, your entire body. Sometimes shaking can release, allow you to get out of that fight or flight stage. So if you're stuck in that, doing a little shake, that just releases that energy and it helps your body reset. Little option for you if you feel like you're overstimulated, touched out, right? Because sometimes when those babies need us, when our kids need us all the time, we can feel a little overwhelmed, feel like we need a little space. And you can't feel guilty about that because it's okay to need a part of you to be just you for a little bit, okay? So never feel guilty for asking for space. Never feel guilty for asking for help so that you can have what you need so that you can show up for your family even better, right? So let's go to the top of the mat. We're going to take a deep inhale in, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. And exhale, plant those hands. We're going to step all the way to tabletop position. From here, we're going to place the hands slightly in front of the shoulders. Let's inhale, drop the hips down. Arms are going to come right alongside the chest. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, let's sit the hips back. You can tuck the toes. Give your toes a little stretch as you release the hips on top of the heels. Forehead, really release down. Inhale, let's roll back up. So tuck the pelvis, roll all the way up the spine. And then you'll drop the hips, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, sit the hips back. Inhale, let's roll up. And then exhale, we're going to bend the elbows, slowly lower the chest down onto the mat. Forehead's going to be the last thing to touch. Inhale, peeling back up, leading with the forehead. And exhale, sit the hips back. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, let's lower down. Inhale, peel up. And exhale, sit the hips back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower all the way down onto the belly. We're going to stay here. From here, you can take your hands straight out. And then we're going to take the right hand. So left hand is straight out. Right hand is right underneath your right shoulder. And you're going to press yourself over towards your left arm so that your hips come stacked on top of each other. Now, if you have the flexibility, if you have the stretch in your body, you could take that right leg and take it all the way behind you, bringing that foot flat to the ground. That's only if you can bring that foot flat though. And if you can even reach the other right arm behind, interlace the fingers, and have a little bit more of an opener on both arms here. So whatever option, wherever you go, to feel this nice stretch in the left shoulder. Hopefully helping with counter opening the chest, because we tend to round when we nurse baby, when we feed baby, when we carry baby, or even just take care of baby. So always trying to reverse that rounding. Let's go ahead and slowly come back to center. We're going to switch to the other side. So right arm goes straight out. Make sure it's coming right out from that shoulder. And then you're going to press with that left hand
so that your chest rolls over towards the right arm. If you can, take that top leg all the way so that the foot comes to the ground. Maybe this side you can do that, and the other side you can't. That's okay. Just acknowledge those differences. Acknowledge what this side wants over the other side. Good. Exhale slowly, coming back to center. And then we're going to do a Flopnasana. That's what I call it. You're just going to roll over, flop over. Technical terms here. So we come onto our backs. We're going to take the right ankle, cross it over the left thigh. Now, if you want to, you can stay here and just press that right knee open. Or we're going to take the right hand, thread it through. You're going to have to lift the left foot off the mat and then grab onto the back of the left thigh. Making sure the right foot stays flexed, that's going to help protect your right knee. And if you want, again, a little bit of motion into these stretches can sometimes make it a little easier for you, or bringing movement, just like maybe you brought into labor, making that sensation that you're feeling a little easier to manage. And then we're going to cross the right leg all the way over the left. See if you can grab onto those toes here. And let's go ahead and switch it. So the right foot comes onto the ground, either taking the left hand, opening the left knee, or picking up the right leg, grabbing onto the back of the thigh. A little more intense. If you're feeling really tight, you might want to do the first level. Good, now let's take that left knee, cross it all the way over, grabbing onto those toes if you can. And slowly release that down, letting your legs, let's actually take them as wide as the mat to begin with. Feet in the mat, knees are bent, and then just let your knees windshield wiper from side to side. And then when you're ready, you can extend the legs towards the bottom of the mat. Closing off the eyes, taking the arms a little more away from the body. Maybe bringing those palms back up towards the ceiling to close our practice just as we opened it. And feel free to stay here as long as you would like. Taking time for your body to rest and recover. When you're ready, just bring a little bit of movement into the body. Reaching the arms up overhead in a good morning stretch. And then rolling to one side and pressing yourself up.
Thank you for joining me in your practice today. Be proud of yourself for the little bit that you did, whatever it looked like, whatever your practice looked like, whatever it looked like to get here. Be grateful that you showed up and you did, and you gave it your all. I hope you have an amazing day.